All right. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another video. Let's talk about something that's important, okay? And that is always being mindful and paying attention to your higher time frame charts. All right. I know traders, they like to trade, particularly just say using one chart. You know, I talk about multiple means of confluence using charts. Look, it works, guys, if you truly trust the system, okay, and pay attention to what's going on in your higher time frames. Why would you want to trade against the grain if you truly don't understand how to trade against the grain, which is counter trend trading? If a lower time frame chart is not moving in sync with the higher time frame, the best thing is to work and trade with the higher time frame. That's what's going to give you the highest probability trade setups. Okay, and I want to show you today an example of, like, say yesterday. Okay, the lower time frame chart, which primarily is my anchor chart, my entry chart, was showing a bearish direction, a bearish sentiment. Okay, and it could be just be for a short term basis, but a higher time frame chart was showing me that the market was bullish. So we need to pay attention to things like that, because if you're trying to trade and not understanding what's going on overall, meaning looking at the full scope of what's going on the higher time frame charts, then you're not going to get into the trade correctly. Meaning you may be trying to take a long, okay, all right, against a chart that has a higher time frame chart that has a bearish sentiment, okay, or bearish direction, or vice versa. You may be trying to take a short, and the overall direction of the market is to the upside. So be very careful in how you trade, all right, because you don't want to get caught up, because it is the overall goal of the market makers to really stop you out and to set traps anywhere and everywhere in the market. Okay, so I just want to show you an example from yesterday, and we're going to look at the 24 range chart and then my 12 range chart. Okay, so be very, very, very mindful, okay, of what's going on, and make sure that you're trading in sync. Okay, that meaning having multiple means of confluence and taking. So if the higher time frame, if you got two charts showing you the upward direction and your anchor chart, you want to take your trades going to the upside, or vice versa. Okay, especially if you're someone that's inexperienced, just starting off, and new to actually trying to trade. All right, so I'm going to start with my higher time frame, well, not my highest time frame, but a higher time frame chart, my 24 range. And in this example, I know some people probably were looking for maybe a short entry, maybe off a 12 range chart, or even a lower time frame, a 4 range chart, when we're using the period chart system. Okay, so pay attention. The 24 range, if we take a look here, we're making or breaking structure to the upside. We took out a major swing area here off the 24 range chart around 23, right here, the top end right here. Okay, so this was a break of structure to the upside. Okay, and we started making higher highs and higher lows. Now, at what point did we start to break structure back to the downside? We didn't. I'm looking at 24 range chart. So my bias is still to the upside. Now, I'm not saying take a look at today's price action. I'm just looking at from yesterday's trading activity over the last few days leading up to, say, the 7th or 6th of September. Okay, so yesterday the market did swing down. Did it break through this area of structure right here? No, it did not. So which leads me to believe and keeping a mindset of a bullish sentiment. Okay, so I'm looking for longs. So when the market started making these higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure to the upside, we have a demand zone resting right here, right? Resting back here at 45, say 45.15, okay? All right, so I would be interested in looking for a long. Now, I'm not going to take a long right off my 24 range chart, but I'm going to scale down to maybe my 12 range chart, and maybe even scale down lower, okay? Because the more confluence that we have bringing multiple charts together and trading in the direction of the higher time frames, like I always say, the higher the probability, okay? So I'm looking for longs. I'm looking for an opportunity to take a demand setup, right? Now, what I want to show you is what took place on the 12 range chart, so that you don't get caught up in trying to basically here take a short entry against the impactful power of the higher time frame, a slightly higher time frame, 12 range chart, 24 range chart, that's showing us bullish activity on the market and a pullback to a demand area where there's aggressive buying at. All right. Now, if you pay attention to the 12 range chart here, okay, where prices make breaking structure to the upside here, the market actually turns and starts to make lower lows and lower highs to the downside, breaking structure to the downside. So it would appear that we are bearish on the 12 range, but on the higher time frame, we're looking bullish. So I want to trade with the higher time frame, not in the direction of the lower time frame, especially when the higher time frame is telling me that I need to be looking for, demand setups to go long, right? Okay, so I know there will be traders out there that would be looking to take a short from here because the 12 range chart is showing you that, the market is making lower lows and lower highs, broke structure from the 12 range, pull back to go short right here. If you did that, you may have got a few ticks or a couple points, on taking a quick short scalp, but you're trading against what's going on the higher time frame. And this area right here was that demand zone off the 24 range chart, the higher time frame. So versus taking a short, your better opportunity was to look for a setup on the lower time frame, the 12 range, to go long. Okay, all right, to go long. And the reason being, if we take a look back at the 24 range, look what we have here. We have an area of liquidity resting right here at the highs right here off this swing to the downside, tapping into this demand zone. If price is already bullish on a higher time frame and it pulls back to a key area of demand, okay, and we have areas of liquidity resting above, and the higher time frame again is bullish, I would be looking for a setup when I scale down to a lower time frame chart to go long back up to a nice area or price to take out liquidity. That's what I aim for when I'm looking for supply and demand. When I get those high probability setups, I'm looking to where my target's going to be at. And most times I'm looking for liquidity. All right. So when price tap into this demand area here off the 24 range, I'm going to scale down to my 12 range and see if I can get a nice setup to take the market back up to start capitalizing on some areas of liquidity. So if you take a look here and see on the 12 range chart what took place, again, this is that demand zone off the 24 range. Price shoots up there and takes out these areas of liquidity above, okay? So you want to be trading with the higher time or in the direction of the higher time frame, okay? When you start looking for scaling down for nice setups, okay? I don't want to take a trade going short right here when the higher time frame is tapped into a beautiful demand zone on the 24 range chart. I don't want to be looking to go short or trying to short into this area here where there is a lot of aggressive buying that came out of a nice demand zone on a higher time frame. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot and you will lose that trade. Trust me, because the moment you go short here, you may have taken a few ticks, a few points here, but then the market comes back and stops you out. That's what their goal is to stop traders out. Understand that. So what I'm trying to say is to be mindful always what's going on your higher time frame chart, and don't trade. Try not to trade and get railroad, especially when you have a powerful setup on a higher time frame. You don't want to be trading against that because that train will come and run you smack over, okay? And you will lose some money and get burnt pretty bad, especially if you have multiple contracts on a line. So I just wanted to, show you what can take place if you're trying to trade against a moving freight train. As I just did show you on the 24 range chart, when it pulled back to that nice demand zone, and then you're trying to go short off a lower time frame in this area right here. Okay, so you don't want to be doing that. I mean, when you see the setup taking place on a higher time frame, and we're already moving in that direction, we're bullish, then you want to be looking to continue to take continuation trades to go long, okay, by scaling down to your lower time frame charts and looking for the setup. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today, and in hopes that you are, for one, don't get blindsided, for two, don't get ran over, because you will take major drawdown and possibly blow your account very quickly. All right. So this is the reason why I always talk about and like to use pair chart system, okay, in my strategy, okay. And especially if you're someone that's starting out and you're new to trading, again, confluence is where it's at. The more that you have something, the more confluence you have, the better off you're going to be taking a trade that's going to move in your favor. All right. But outside of that, that's all I want to share with you guys. Anyone that's interested in joining the Discord, please take the time. You can find the link down in the description portion of the video. Invite yourself in. Come over and join us on the trading floor. That channel there to where we as traders come together and share our our entries on a daily, okay? When the US session is open, we post screenshots or images of the trades we take. And you know, if you're someone that's new, maybe your first time coming to the channel, and maybe you have questions about why a certain individual or trader took a trade, look, that's the reason why the Discord is set up. You know, is to kind of help and aid traders along. Okay, maybe you don't quite understand someone's setup or trade. That person can explain, you know, their mindset of why they took that trade as well. As well as there's a channel called the General Chat channel to where you can come over and ask questions, you know, that you may have. But we do trade primarily, we do trade the index futures, most of us anyway, okay? Whether that's the NASDAQ, the Dow, the S&P, well, the E-mini S&P 500. And even if you trade the micros, it doesn't matter. The minis or the micros, it doesn't matter. Come over and join us. If you're a first-time viewer and you haven't subbed to the channel, guys, what are you waiting for? You're missing a great opportunity to, you know, basically get a good foundation and understanding about supply and demand, how to trade it. So that's the purpose of why I created this channel. It's to share how I trade, the strategy in which I use to inspire other individuals. I know there are traders out there who are new to trading and want to get a good foothold in the market and become profitable. So you found the right place. Simply click on the sub button down below, become part of the team, join the Discord as well. And that's all really I have to say. So subscribe down below. Make sure to turn on all your post notifications by clicking on the bell, okay? That's going to turn on all your post notifications so you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel, all right? Also, do me the biggest favor, okay? Drop a like on the video. I appreciate that. I'll see everyone in the next video. I'm pretty much wrapping up my day trading. Today, I took a few screenshots and posted them over on the Discord already of trades that I took. I think a couple of them were on the ES futures. So, you know, I do kind of dabble back and forth between the NASDAQ and the ES. But that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.